or Kimberly. Crafty Teacher DIYs coming at you with Season 2, Episode 1. That's right, we're starting over. This is Crafty Teacher DIYs 2.0. Crafty Teacher DIYs 1.0 caught a bug and crashed. System malfunction, major malfunction. So we've adapted, we've grown, we've fixed some bugs, hopefully. It has taken like all day, to be honest with you, to kind of get this up and going. I'm trying a few new things out. The program I was using before, I changed. And so now here we are, we're starting over. And I've already had to do this probably like 6 or 7 times just to get it fixed, kind of figured out. And then Deuce decided to completely bark and then scratch at the door to try to come in, because this is the new Catfish. And obviously you can see she's not being very ladylike, but I have a new addition. This is Opal. She does not like being picked up, otherwise I would go get her. But she is my new addition, and I have decided that I am a 3-pet household, and that is the maximum. My 2 dogs and the 1 kitty is like perfect. I love her. I am super excited. Like, cleaning a cat litter sometimes is a pain in the butt, but I don't really complain about it because I am that excited about her. Her and Deuce, no problems. Like, she'll sometimes hiss at him because, he gets in her way because that's a cat. Her and Sweetie, on the other hand, it's a hit or miss, and I can never tell which way it's going to go. So you can also kind of tell that I have a new Catfish. This is my craft room, my office, and the cat's room. So I have like a door buddy system that I can like close this off so that just the cat can come in here. And yeah, it's like amazing. So like I'm not necessarily going to show you around too much, but in this craft room, I think I've got it set up kind of the way I like it. There's still a little bit more organization to go. Like, I have all of that fabric right there that I don't have room in the little place that I've been storing my fabric for all of that. And I'm getting more like, who am I? What do I think I can do in like a year or in my lifetime? Like, I know I'm going to be 44, but still, like, that's a lot of fabric. I've got a lot of fabric. You'll kind of see a lot of it today. I got the Pip and Chip floss drops, which I absolutely adore. And I'll talk a little bit more about why I'm like super excited about this, because if you kind of look, here's some diamond painting stuff. And I've got the setup so that I can do some diamond painting, like if I decide to stream or something. But then I have like a whole stitching spot that I haven't gotten a chance to use yet because I need a TV in here. Well, that's something else to do. You can see kind of some of my overdyed cottons hanging from up there. I got lucky enough when Bestitch Me opened up their shop that I got her complete line of silks that were available at that time. So, but I've also got a ton of her silks from the boxes that I buy, because I swear I buy like every one of her boxes and I really just need to stop, but I can't because what she does is amazing. But she also opened her shop, and it's only like an hour and a half away from me, which is seriously deadly and like damaging. Like, this is a problem, and it can be a major problem because, as you can kind of see as I go through this, a lot of my stuff is Bestitch Me. So I'm super excited about that. I love that her stuff is there and available, and she's, expanding her line, keeping as she goes, and that she opened that shop. That shop is outstanding. I kitted up a couple of things when I went to her shop one day. So highly, highly, highly recommend if you are in the Moline area. Anyway, so you'll probably see a few unboxings. You'll probably see or hear, look, I'm going back again. Maybe I'll talk about this a little bit. I don't know, in one of these videos. but I'll talk to you about my experiences in February of last year, because that was a trip. And then so I'll probably show you all my finishes that I had, because I didn't realize that there were quite a few projects that y'all didn't see finished that that I did finish. So in from 2021 through to now. So I'm going to start with a WIP parade, because I have currently 15 WIPs, kind of. And that seems to be a little bit smaller of a video that I can do right now. I've got, like, over the past couple of years, I've gotten like 50 plus total finishes. Some of you have seen, some of them I've lost. Some of them was, like, one of them was a smalls exchange, but I do have a picture of that, so I'll be able to show you kind of what I ended up doing with it and what it looked like ending up stitched up. But I'm going to try to do my WIP parade today. So these are all of the WIPs that I've started. The most recent one that I started was in January of this year. The one I started in February, I finished this year. Or this year, February, finished. So I'll show you that. I'll show you that in the finished parade, because you all didn't get to see it started, and there's a lot of them y'all didn't get to see started. So yeah, there we go. I guess that's what we're going to start with. That's where we're going to go from, and let's get going. And we'll go from oldest to newest. And ideally, some of these, I'll try to talk about the ones that I really do want to get finished this year. But that means I gotta actually start stitching, and I've kind of been a little bit meh about that. Partially because I moved, I was getting this organized, and I was getting all the stuff that was out of my room in here. It was a thing. And then I got a Case Creations Z-frame adjustable base lap stand for stitching in my room, but I need a TV in here is kind of what I think I figured out, so that I can like watch from a distance and can have two monitors and have things worked out a little bit better. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Like, as it is, this is a complete work in progress, because I've been figuring this out like all day. Believe me when I say all day. That's an exaggeration. But anyway, let's get into it. I'll show you the bags. I know most of my bags are where they're from. There's a few needle minders that I probably couldn't tell you where they're from. But some of them I did make on that little sewing machine that you see right there. She's done it all on that little thing right there. But this was a bag that I had made. This is the very first one that I made, using a tutorial that I found on YouTube. But I'll be honest with you, I could not remember how to do the binding. So the binding turned out horrid on this. But in this project bag right here is housed The Pixels That Made Us by Justin Freeman of Pick Stitch. Let me go this way. Okay. Anyway, so Justin Freeman of Pick Stitch, you can find him primarily on Twitch. He designed this SAL that started, I don't think it started in April. I think it started in March of 2021. And if you donated to Child's Play, which is an organization, if y'all haven't heard about it, it's an organization that donates, or that gets gaming systems and video games and other kinds of entertainment to kids that, have extended stays in hospitals. Because let's face it, hospitals, are not necessarily the most fun place to be. So, they need a little bit of help. So he came up with this, and it was a SAL. He released, a piece, I don't even remember, up through like June of 2021. So Yeah, I ended up stitching this on a 20 count Ada from Zweigart in the colorway charcoal, and I'm using the called for DMC flosses. Now there are 230 flosses in this. I started this on April 8th of 2021. And for anyone that remembers from when I started this, I had really only started stitching in March of 2021 after like I had started diamond painting, and then I had found There Is No Planet B by Clouds Factory, which while I love some of their patterns, I won't purchase from them anymore. But he's got like 230 colors in this stitch, and I got frustrated at one point when I went to try to find. So you can kind of see I got through the G and the A. I didn't finish like the back stitch or anything yet, but I got into here, and you can kind of see I started to try to do just the black and the white. And then it was like, man, that I found counting errors, and then it was a whole mess. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to come down here and I'm going to look for some of these colors in here that, have some good chunks that I can just, stitch them up real quick. And then I couldn't find them. Like, they were everywhere. And like every one of my kitted projects, which are like in this far 3 top, like 3, no joke. These 3 are packed in there with all of the different kits that I've got going. Like I've got 70 plus kits. Like it's ridiculous. I just need to start stitching, or de-kit them. But I don't know. I've got fabrics and all of those. I got a problem. Anyway, I couldn't find them, and I go, okay, well, fine. I'll skip that color and I'll go to this one. Couldn't find it. Okay, I'll skip that one. Couldn't find it. Finally just gave in, and I was like, okay, I'm putting this away because now I'm frustrated. And 230 colors, I'm not going to be pulling all those flosses, for like basically sometimes what I'd need is maybe a strand. Like, come on. No. So eventually when I got these Pip and Chip floss drops, I was so excited because I knew that I could just sit right there and just be like, sweet, here's this color, pull it, stitch, put it right back. Oh, I can't wait. You do not understand how excited I am that I can do like anything with DMCs that has, those major color changes and those major just color options. I can just sit right there and stitch on them. I'm super excited about that. One cannot. I'm hoping to get this done. I'd like to get this done by June. My friend's birthday that I kind of really wanted to, do this for him. This was my roommate who was living, with me in this room. He's like, he got through the pandemic. We got through it together. And then just in 2022, in like September or October, he said it's time for me to find my own place, and he moved out. So I was glad that I could be there for him, and I'd like to finish this and give that to him. So I'm hoping by June, but that means that I need to get a TV in here and I need to start stitching on it. So The Pixels That Made Us by Justin Freeman of Pick Stitch. That is my first WIP and my oldest WIP. I started that again in April 8th of 2021. The next one that is up, I have mixed feelings about. The next one is Twisted Rainbow Sampler, and I don't have an image of that. I'm sorry. It's in one of my things that I put somewhere in here. I'm still working on a little bit of organization. But I do have the specialty stitch one, and this is in a bag that I made, and this is the one that I actually started liking. So these are some vinyl front project bags. They're not like super big. I can't fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap, which is what I usually use for this in here. But I am using, this is a Witchell 32 count Belfast linen in black. I just ordered off 123 Stitch when I first started stitching, but I am using the Dinky Dyes conversion for Twisted Rainbow Sampler. It's done by Northern Expression Needlework. I'm using the Dinky Dyes conversion that Jessie of Mislaid Pages has on her site. And these are beautiful. I love them. I'm now in her Dinky Dyes, Silk of the Month Club. Not that I needed to be. Who am I? What am I thinking? But anyway, I have mixed feelings about this one because I started this one June 1st of 2021. And when I started stitching, you'll notice that this line just keeps getting further and further up. I kept somehow where I started this one looking okay, by the time that I ended up getting over here, it wouldn't line up. So that bugs me. I don't know how much it bugs me yet, but it probably bugs me enough that I haven't picked this up, even though I truly do like it. I love the specialty stitches. I like the way they look. I might restart this one, mostly because I think I have a better way of figuring out where the placement of those specialty rows go so that I don't get off with those counts like I was, because I'm like a half stitch or a full stitch off by the end of it. And I'm like, I can only imagine what it's going to look like when I get to the end. So this one's been on hold and very much in timeout because I don't know if I want to just pull it all out. I don't think I'm going to pull it all out. I think if I redo this, I'm just going to restart it. I know I have enough floss from the colors that I started with. So this one might be a restart. I've only done a couple of restarts. Well, technically I've only done one and I haven't even really restarted it. But there are now two that I'm pretty certain that I'm going to restart. So again, Northern Expression Needleworks, Twisted Rainbow Sampler, the specialty stitch one, because those are pretty. And I truly do love this stitch. I just gotta figure it out. I don't have a picture of this one. But again, yeah, that one I started again, June 1st of 2021, while I was waiting for the Almond M&M silks to come for my Trans Pride tapestry, which I finished in December of 2021. I finished it right before it turned 12 in 2021. This next one is kind of a Christmassy one. This one is also in a bag that I made. This one is, let's see, Holiday Quaker by Leela Studio. I got this one and I started working on this one when Michelle G of Bendy Stitchy was doing her Quaker Zooms, and I wanted to join in, but I wasn't really a huge fan of the Halloween Quaker. I might end up stitching it just so that it can go with this one, although I don't know if I want to do it on what I'm doing it on this one. Anyway, this is where I'm at. I am stitching it 2/2 on a 28 count Lugana in the colorway Winter Blues by Stitch Me. And I am doing it in the called for overdyes, which kind of stinks because one of these colors, like right there, blends in really, really closely. And I mean, even the white to a certain extent. But I love Brandy at Stitch Me. I love her fabrics. I love her silks. I actually got lucky enough when she opened her store in Moline, which is only about an hour and a half from me, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. She gave away a complete collection of her silks to one person who purchased from her website that week and one person who went into the store. And I went into the store the day they opened, and I actually won all of her silks at that time that she had out. And it's sitting right here in a full box, but it's kind of ridiculous because I have so many of her other silks from like her bags and all of that, or her boxes and all that stuff, that I could probably rekit just about everything in Brandy silks, and I do quite frequently. And you might see that in some of these WIPs as I keep going through here. But yeah, that was Holiday Quaker by Leela's Studio. And you'll start to see that I start to change a few things kind of as I keep going. This next one is one that I did eventually end up restarting. This one does not have a project bag, mostly because it is a HADE, Heaven and Earth Designs. This one, I had all of those stitches done. Yes. And then the tablet I was using decided to just croak. It was not a very good one. Anyway, I purchased a new one. I plan on backing them up. So that was something that you definitely might want to think to do. Save your progress so that if it ever does happen again to you, or if for whatever reason you lose Pattern Keeper on whatever tablet you're using, you will have your progress, because I don't want to go back through and try to figure out which ones I stitched and which ones I didn't of this. Like, let's be honest. So this one is Which Way. This is by HADE. Molly Harrison is the original artwork that was done by this. I love this cat. Yeah, she always sleeps in these. I have a cat tree that's by my bed that she really enjoys. So yeah, that's where we're at. Which Way by Molly Harrison of Heaven and Earth Designs. And so this is on a 28 count Lugana easy guide. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross using obviously the call for DMCs, and it lives in here. But then again, this is one that I am going to restart. And I know that if I turn it this way and restart it from up here, I will have enough space on this fabric. So this is one I'm going to restart again because I had a crash, and I apologize for Sweetie barking. I have no idea what she's barking at. This one I had to restart again. This one was due to the tablet crashing, and then I did end up getting a better tablet. So I hope that won't happen again. And I know that I'm going to back up my progress, especially if I start to get a lot of it done. But again, I haven't really gotten my behind in gear and gotten in here to stitch, because this has really only been set up for about maybe a little over a week, maybe week and a half. I've had the things in here, but even then, I think maybe Monday. Oh, by the way, today is February 25th. I didn't say that earlier. So today is February 25th. As I'm recording this. So hopefully I will get this edited and posted before tomorrow, February 26th. It's my stepmom's birthday today. So, yeah, I started this Monday. I kind of really got a lot of it cleaned up and picked up by Monday, which was President's Day. So I didn't have to go into school. So yeah, that was a Heaven and Earth design. Which Way. So I'm super excited about that one. Although that one is going to be a very large project. I have a lot of large HADEs, and like if you can see, that top Ziploc is just a whole bunch of easy guide. Some of it I have for patterns designated, some of them I don't. But yeah. So my next project that I started is I started this one on October 30th of 2021. And of course, I don't have, well, you'll get a big picture of it here in a second. This is in a bag. I started this October 30th of 2021. And this is, in fact, sorry, let me see. This is in a bag from one of the Stitch Me's boxes. I don't even remember which box it was. It was some kind of summer, I think the summer equinox box in 2021. Sounds about right. Typically her bags were done by A&D Creations, but I don't really think that you can buy them on like Etsy or anything like that. I think that Brandy kind of pretty much I'm drawing a complete blank on my vocabulary right now. She gets those, she asks for them and gets them to her on consignment probably. But again, I don't necessarily oh, that's not good. I just saw a snag in my fabric. I'm kind of not happy about it. Hopefully I'll be able to either stitch it over or I'll be able to kind of like hide it. Anyway, this is Miss Cherry Blossom by Mirabilia. This is on a 28 count casual linen by Bestitch Me in the colorway Punch. So technically this should have been stitched on a 32 count. However, I had this pink fabric and I thought that it was outstanding and I felt that it would go perfect on it. And it did. It looks so amazing. I love stitching on this. I cannot believe I don't have this finished yet. I'm a good chunk, like there's still a lot of this skirt left. Like it goes like way out here. I apologize. This dog is gonna bark. But I absolutely love it. It is still absolutely beautiful. And I really just need to get my butt in gear and get it finished. So this is one that I would love to have finished this year. It is so beautiful. And it looks so great on this fabric. Yeah. Like I said, it did call for a 32 count. But when I was talking to everybody, they said that I could probably get away with a 22 count or 28 count. So, Miss Cherry Blossom by Mirabilia. This is probably one of my favorite works in progress right now. I have these on a roller frame. This one is my Which Way from Hade is actually on a Edmund's handy clamp scroll frame. While I like the handy clamps, what I like about them is the ability to, it's easily, you can adjust like on the fly kind of thing. I don't have to take too much apart to get to it. I don't like that it can kind of leave a groove in the fabric if you don't put like some kind of binding fabric or some kind of batting to ease the fabric when you're pulling it taut. But that one is Miss Cherry Blossom. I love her. I really need to get her done. I can't believe that she's been sitting as long as she has. But I think what ends up happening is I find another pattern and I just keep these are not small. None of the projects that I have are small. What am I going to learn? And then if I do get a small one, I get it done, and then I start a new small one, or I start a new huge one, and I never get them all done. I don't know. All the things. Okay. So Miss Cherry Blossom, it's a Bestitch Me 28 count casual linen in the colorway Punch, and I'm just using everything called for. It is 2/2. Again, A&D Creations, designed by Nora Corbett of Mirabilia. The next one is this is Moonlight Sampler by The Blue Flower. And pardon the light here, I'll see if I can get that. I have an outstanding start on this one. I had just started moving into larger count fabrics when I started stitching on this. This came or lives in a bag by So Much to Love. I got this at Galleria, and I love lilacs. I love the smell of them. The color are beautiful as well. But I loved this, like, this artwork that was done by Michelle Palmer. And what's amazing is this is done with like Sharpie marker on fabric. And then Karen, I believe her name is, sewed this onto a bag that went with it. So I managed to snag it. I ran right to her shop at Galleria that first year, and I got that. So it lives in this bag, and this is stitched on a Mystic fabric, and it's a 36 count Edinburgh linen, and the colorway Olympia. So it's kind of got these earth tones. It's a beautiful fabric. It is absolutely beautiful. And I started stitching this 2/2, and I don't know if I like it. It's pretty tight. I haven't tried stitching it 1/1 yet. But I kind of, when I realized I was stitching it 2/2 and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, I kind of put it up and then I haven't gone back to it. So I do love the pattern. I really do need to get it stitched. Like, all these animals in here are just beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. So this is a great pattern. It's huge. I've seen it in person. I can't wait to see what it'll look like on this. I do plan to finish it on this, but again, I just don't know. I don't know if I want to go back and take this out and then like restart it. Trying it 1/1. I might need to see about doing some test stitches up in here. I don't believe I have it in all the called for. I think I did the called for DMCs. So this might call for some over dyed flosses, but I think I just did them all in the DMCs. So I did the DMC alternatives that she gave on the back of the chart. So again, a Mystic fabric in the colorway Olympia, 2/2 that I'm still contemplating about. And I started that one the next day after I started Miss Cherry Blossom. And I think that was also part of it. I started Miss Cherry Blossom and I love Miss Cherry Blossom. I stitched on her so much that I just never got back to this one, especially after trying to decide, do I really want to stitch this 2/2? I don't know. Still got some choices to make. But usually I've found that once I've made a choice, I kind of stick with it. I don't know. Still got a few things to think about. So, Moonlight Sampler. What is next? All right. The next one is Winter White Santa by Mirabilia. So this was one of my purchases when I went to Brandy's opening. This bag by A&D Creations. And just really quickly, let me pause for a second so I can switch over. That's why I need a second camera here, or TV. Winter White Santa by Mirabilia. I blame this one on Teresa Little Stitcher. Everything about this one is Teresa Little Stitcher that I blame. Because when I saw her stitching this, and I saw the fabric she chose to stitch this on, I was like, yep, I'm doing that. So this is going to be all the called fors. Again, this is a beautiful bag by A&D Creations, and I kind of kept with the theme. This is on roller flames, and this is currently where I'm at. This is a 32 count Opal Murano from Chromatic Alchemy, and it is opal. It is opalescent. It sparkles. I don't have a problem with the sparkly linen. I don't gravitate toward it, I guess. But it's got like blues and some light blues in here. It's really gorgeous. But I think when I started, because I started all right in here, all the grays and the whites, I just couldn't. So when I started finally getting into the color of like the scarf and stuff, I was super excited. So I started this one. This was my Christmas start in 2021. I'd like to get this one finished, but I'm going to focus on the Gamer Sal or Pixels That Made Us, Holiday Quaker, and probably Miss Cherry Blossom before I'll focus on him. Literally him. But I loved this Santa. I loved the Santa. She did such a great job with this. So, yeah. Winter White Santa. This is also on a ruler frame, not one of the handy clamps. This is what the handy clamps look like if y'all haven't seen them. It's kind of like a Q-snap with those plastic pieces that kind of go over a wooden scroll rod. They're kind of nice. So yeah. They come in some different sizes depending on which one you want. All right. Ooh, the next one. I don't even need to look at like the fabric count or anything on this one. I know that I essentially started this one for my birthday, but I didn't start it until May 29th of 2022. So this was my birthday start last year. And this is, pardon the glare a little bit on this one, Castles in the Air by Long Dog. And you're like, okay. But I went a little bit like, this is going to be bright. I don't know that it's going to show up the way it actually looks like in person. But this is done in kind of like a special colorway of Silks for You. It's a beautiful purple silk. Yeah, that's not showing up the right color. Let me see here. Maybe if yeah, that's better. All right. So that's probably closer to the purple that I'm looking at here. Maybe not. Maybe so. That's probably close. This is Homed. This one lives in a bag that was also, this one came in the space box from Bestitch Me. Little alien head right there. With some cosmic inside. So this lives in there, and this is stitched on a 40 count, like unnamed because she doesn't name her fabrics. I call it 80s pink, and it's from Jody of, the Steel City Stitchers that I bought at the Steel City Stitchers retreat in last February. That is probably the pink that I'm looking at right there. It's a little bit brighter in person, but it's gorgeous. But then you have the purple, and that just washes it out. So I'm so upset by that. That is what you're looking at. That's probably closer. Let's see about this side. About the same. But it's truly beautiful. I really love this piece. I love stitching on it. All the back stitching has been done in the process. This is a full yard or half yard of fabric. I know what I'm going to do with at least probably a good fat quarter of it. Because this project is only really going to, like, this Castles in the Air will only go, I'm about halfway here. So it's really only going to go to about the other side of this fat quarter, or this half of the fat half. And then I think this is about a quarter of the size, so it's going to go to another quarter down here. So I will have like I will have plenty of fabric to, share with people. But it is a beautiful pink fabric. I call it 80s pink because the dang thing is like hot pink. And unfortunately, it just washes it out. Maybe if I had been filming in the day, it would have been looking a little different, but I absolutely love it. It's done in a Silks for You and the 40 count Newcastle linen by Fabrics by Jody of Steel City Stitchers. So that was Castles in the Air. The next one is another favorite. This one I did a conversion on. And my silks are over there, so I'm not going to be able to show you them. But this is housed in probably one of my favorite bag makers. This is housed in a bag from Big Stitch Bags. Ashley, she lives in Oregon. Actually, I think she's in Eugene, Oregon. And she does, I love these little bags. They fit, like the 11 by 11 Q snaps do fit in here. But like not comfortably. If they were like a smidge bigger, they would easily fit in there. But for the most part, your 8x8 will fit in here like way easy. My Q snap just fell apart. But anyway, your 8x8s will fit in here like no issues. But they're sturdy, they're well made. I love the little handles. I think I've bought just about every one of them that she releases, but she's started to become like really popular, so they're kind of hard to get sometimes because she's a teacher too, from what I understand, and she doesn't make very many at a time anymore. So this one is Move Forward in Love. When it's finished, it will look like this. And this is from Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery. And this is on, let me take that picture off so you don't want to see it all the time. This one is stitched on this is from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And this, I had gotten into their fabric of the month. So this is a Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, like I said. This is a 40 count Newcastle because I started to get into 40 count, and most of my stash is now 40 count, which is good and bad, especially when I start wanting to do some of like the beads like that Meridian Designs have, because I have like 4 of her things like kitted or coming. But this is on a fabric called April Showers Bring May Flowers, and it's being stitched 1/2. And I started this on June 17th of 2022. So I started this at StitchCon last year, and I made a lot of progress. This came with the space box, if you couldn't tell. And I made a lot of progress in January. Because when I started in January, I had really only started, like, I had only had this done. Like, there's a couple birds that I haven't finished in here, but then I really tried to push to get it all done, and I got most of it done, but I still have a little bit left. But I truly do enjoy this pattern. This is a great one. And then kind of what ended up happening is I started organizing the craft room, and I kind of started moving stuff over into here, and then that kind of got put on hold. So, and then I hadn't really gotten comfortable with stitching in the different locations, and just things like that started happening. So this one I have not taken out of the Q snap. The flosses are actually hanging from my daylight back here, the arm of it. I'll start it again. I'll get it going. That is one that also I want to finish. So if I had to like rank them, that one's probably my closest to being finished. And then I take a look at probably Miss Cherry Blossom. And then Pixels, that one's still got a lot to do too. I got a lot of work to do, y'all. Got a lot of work to do. Okay. This is a current Sal. And I was kicking butt and staying up with it. And I love stitching on it. This one lives in another one of the So Much to Love bags, similar with the Michelle Palmer design. Basically what had ended up happening is Karen had posted these 2 bags as kind of like previews of bags when she was at Galleria in 2021. And I was like, oh, I really want those. I really wanted the lilac bag. And I was like, okay, I bought that one immediately, and the little notions pouch that came with it. And I was like, you know what? I'll hold off on the ladybug bag, and if it's still there, I'll buy it. And then Saturday afternoon, it was still there, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna break down and buy it. I didn't buy the notions pouch that went with it, but it's super cute. I enjoy it. What the materials that lived in this bag, the flosses that live in this bag, go. That was also a thing. The little scissor fob / pull I got. These little floss tags are stinking amazing. Eldritch Owl off Etsy is where I got those from. They've got like little plastic things that you got to pull off, but you can put your the DNC, tags on there. That's a stinking cool idea. Anyway, so these are the flosses, and you might be able to tell what this is. It's all DNC. This, in fact, goes with the latest sale of Dark Queen of the Earth by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I kept up with it for a while. No, I lied. I kept up with it for the first 2 drops, and then life started happening, and I stopped. It's one that I want to really focus on because I'd like to finish this one on time. So I need to start stitching like a couple of them, but this is where I'm at. And surprise, surprise, this is on a Be Stitch Me fabric. This is her Middle Earth, which she eventually titled it Middle Earth. So there's a story that goes along with this because she opens her shop in August of 2022. And it was a Wednesday. That's all I remember. It was a Wednesday. The 30th, maybe? Anyway, I go in because I wanted a fabric for Dark Queen of the Seas. And I knew that I wanted a fabric for Dark Queen of the Earth because initially I wasn't going to stitch them. But then everybody kept kind of saying, oh, we're going to do this, the Sal. And I was like, okay, this time I'll join so that I can get the alternate, options kind of as we go, rather than trying to decide, now or purchase the different packs, which hasn't been a big deal. They did a great job. Autumn Lane, Erin, and Cassandra did a really good job of making those alternative options available to people. You just have to purchase the pattern separately, which I didn't have a problem doing. So I had gone in because I was like, I need a good fabric for Dark Queen of the Seas. I had a couple of fabrics in my stash that I thought would work for Dark Queen of the Earth. Cocoa, I think. I don't remember which one it was, being one of them. And again, it was a brandy fabric. So I was like, okay, no big deal. This is what we'll try. No, I walked in and I say, so I'm looking for these. And Brandy was like, so I got you. I was like, okay. And she pulls this out, and she pulls out this fabric, and she hadn't named it by this point. And she's like, Cassandra has a piece of this, and she's like, she loves it, and she can't wait to stitch to stitch Dark Queen of the Earth on it, and she thought that it would really go well with it, and it really fits kind of their, what they wanted to do with it. And so I was like, yes, not just because of that, but I was like, I really love that fabric. I really love this fabric. And she also had, and we'll talk about that one in a second, the other one in a second. But I was like, I had purchased it, and I swear I stitched the first drop by like September 4th on this. And I was posting everything. And poor Brandy still hadn't named this fabric. She still had a couple of test dyes she said that she wanted to do. And then eventually she named it Middle Earth, and it's been a big release since then. But it's absolutely gorgeous fabric. There's a picture. I think Aaron has a picture because I was at Galleria and he was there last year in 2022. So I showed him that one as well when I was there. So 32 count Belfast in the colorway Middle Earth by Be Stitch Me, in the color called for DMCs, with the floss pack that I, and the specialty threads and everything that I purchased from Under the Sea Fabrics. So that leads me to the next project that is housed in this Jasmine custom bag. Why it's in bees, I don't know. As it is, I can't wait to, you know, I got this from Nerdy Needle Designs when they were started to switch from Nerdy Needle Designs. And this is the called for DMCs. You might see where this is going, because I was like, you know what? We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it all. So I started Dark Queen of the Seas from Autumn Lane Stitchery. Here, let's show you what she'll look like when she's done. Ta-da! Maybe not that. I want blue hair instead of purple hair. There's a few changes that I plan on making. I haven't decided about her face, which is also part of the reason why I was like kind of stuck. But I finished sections 1 and 2 essentially, maybe a little bit more of both. But this is on 32 count Leviathan from Be Stitch Me. And it's a Belfast linen. I'm a linen stitcher primarily. Even weave, yes. Ada, not as much. I don't know why. I think maybe because the first kit that I got was the There Is No Planet B from Clouds Factory, and it came on a 32 count Belfast from Ariel, and that's when I started stitching on, so I just haven't left it. So even weaving linen is typically what I go for, but that's kind of where I'm at with her. It's a little bit more than drops 1 and 2, and I finished this by the end of September. So when drop 2 of Dark Queen of the Earth came out, my goal was to try to keep with, you know, essentially a drop for each one. But then I stopped stitching, and I don't know why. I don't know. Some things just started happening, I guess, and I got behind. And what did I do in October? Maybe I went somewhere. I don't know. Can't tell you. So why this isn't a Jasmine custom bag bee bag, I don't know. Just, it was available at the time, I guess. So yeah, Dark Queen of the Sea, Dark Queen of the Earth. I'm hoping that I can get my button gear back on these two and get both of them done in August, when the last release drops for Dark Queen of the Earth. But I gotta get some stitching. I got to get stitching. So, but now that everything's kind of calmed down with some of these things, I'm hoping that I'll be really ready to go on that. So that takes me to, though that was started. So Dark Queen of the Sea Earth was started September 1st. And I was not joking. September 4th, I had finished the first drop of Dark Queen of the Earth, and I started Dark Queen of the Seas on September 4th. So that's how that worked out. But then of 2022, both of those were of 2022. So November 5th of 2022, Jasmine from the Knitting Nurse decided she wanted to do a sale. And she wanted to do Little Dreamer's Tree. And I think the artist is Amy Stewart. And this is done by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is done on this Weigart 28 count Lugana Easy Guide. I'm doing it 1/2 full cross. And called for DMCs, which I'm also super excited, like I said, because of this and my whole setup. I can't wait to use it. I can't tell you guys how excited I am to use it. We'll see. All right. We're happy. We're happy. We're getting there. So this is where I'm at. This is as wide as it will be. And I kind of got some of the trees started up in here. And Jasmine is like genius when she came to parking threads, because I was used to just doing the one or putting it, in the spot where you would start your stitch. But she's like, nah, what I do is I do the first leg of the stitch and then I park it in, where the start of the next stitch would be. And I was like, genius. Why? That was such an easy thing to do. So yeah, I was super excited. This is a lot of 939. This whole thing's going to be a lot of 939. So I could have I might buy just a cone. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So yeah, this is another one of those things where I'm super excited to kind of just be able to sit my butt in that chair and be able to pull whatever thread I need. This one again doesn't have a bag because essentially it is this. And then I have some needles kind of on a magnet on my Lowry stand for that. So yeah, Little Dreamer's Tree, 28 count. I started that on November 5th for Jasmine's birthday, knitting there. So it's one I want to do. I like a lot of the bookshelves from Amy Stewart, but there's the world travel one that I think I want to do, and I don't know if I bought the stitching shelf. I don't remember which ones I purchased. But there's a couple of them that I think I'm going to actually go for and do. So that one isn't housed in a bag. It's just kind of sitting out because, again, I'm going to be using Pivot Chip floss drops. This next project was my Christmas start from last year. This is housed in a Black Cat X Stitchery bag that I bought off Etsy when she released it. Tiffany, I got to meet her at StitchCon last year, and I like her stuff. She does a good job. Her bags are really nice, and she gets some really cool fabric. If you want the QR code, there you go. I'll try to hold it still. This is a floss winder that I use for most of my DMC. It's not super long, but I find that I like that kind of thread length. I'm not a crazy long fan, or a short one. But I have all of the kit. I got this off 123 Stitch. I probably should have gotten it from somebody else. Again, she gives little thread beds. This is stitched on a 28 count linen, again from Bestitch Me. This happens to be in the colorway Marine, because, well, I had it in my stash. So I pardon the glare, but this is Falling Snow by Shannon Christine. This is a lot of white. It's a lot of white, y'all. And when I started it, I have found that I am a little bit picky when I start with my stitching. And I really like the magnification, not because I need it to see the holes, because I did all of that without obviously seeing it. And this is only 1/2. So I did a center start, center top start. I will either start in the center top, or top right, top left, top alt. I can't tell my left from my right. But I wasn't sure how much space I would have. I knew I could fit it on here, but I wasn't sure how much I would need. So I'm gonna try to get to the other side of this and then kind of come down. But this is a lot of white stitching. This is, I think, this is 2 skeins maybe of B5200. And that's kind of where I'm at. But I started, like I said, I started seeing that I wasn't super thrilled with the way these stitches were turning out. So I think I'm gonna have to use magnification when I really start to look at it. Which means that I'm either gonna, oh yeah, that's all. Which means that I'm probably gonna have to like sit either here, or I'm gonna have to sit or use, I got some of those like reader glasses and like a magnification of like 2.5 or 3.25 or something like that. I don't know. but that was my Christmas start. I actually did start that December 25th of last year. So, I don't know which one I'll try to finish first. I really like both of them, Winter White Santa and this one. I've since bought some other Shannon Christine designs. There's an ornaments one that I just adore. But I haven't kitted it. I held off from kitting something. Shocker. Why do I do this to myself? I'm not kidding when I say there's so many things that are kitted. I like the stack of things that are kitted and ready for me to start stitching. Anyway, I can't tell you. So we're down to essentially 2 starts. These are starts from this year. Oosh, what was that? These are starts from this year. And this first one is I started on January 6th after I had finished one that kind of went with this one. And you'll kind of be able to see that finish, actually. This is Mrs. Claus by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Yeah, I love his little ornaments. Aaron does a great job. This is done on 36 count Edinburgh by Mystic Fabric in the colorway Wisteria. It's a purple opalescent. I didn't put in opal, but it is an opalescent fabric. Anyway, let me get that picture off so y'all can actually see it. But yeah, so there we are. Oh, that's kind of good. But you can see I finished Mr. Claus probably the 6th when I started her. But I had some miscounts with her and I got frustrated and I wasn't feeling too good, I think is what ended up happening. And I just got frustrated with her, so I was like, I put her up. I stitched on something else. Maybe the next one. But this came in one of my more recent purchases from Big Stitch Bags. And you can kind of see there's her logo. I did a small conversion on this one to Bestitch Me Silks. But then there's some DMC. So these are the silk conversions. Like I said, there's a couple DMC in here. These 2 down here because I didn't really have a good 814 or 895. The greens just didn't look quite right. But those are the silks that I ended up using. If it's still twisted, you see I haven't used it yet. But I will. But those are the silks that'll go into Mrs. Claus. And I love, like I said, Brandy's stuff. She does amazing work. So, one of them came off. Hang on, let me put that back before I lose my mind. But this is again done on 36 count Edinburgh from Mystic Fabric. I don't remember. This was a fabric of the month when I had Mystic Fabric's fabric of the months. I'm still in Brandy's silk of the month. Why, I don't know, but hey, what are you gonna do? Again, what I love about Big Stitch Bags is I didn't mention this one, but here's like a Notions bag that comes with it. Here's a little floss holder that comes with it. Like, she's amazing. Like, I love her. Thank you, Ashley. Not that she's watching me, but if she were, I love her bags. And I've been looking to see if she can make me a bag for my Dark Queens. We haven't quite found the right fabric. I'm a little bit picky about it. I need to stop being as picky about it as I am. But that's where we're at. And my last start. This one is all because of Michelle G. Bendy Stitchy. She's the culprit on this one. This is one that I started on January 13th, 2023. This is The Most Magnificent Ink Circles Round Robin, or something along those lines. I can't remember the full tagline. But this one is Forest Flower by Ink Circles. And to go with Marumi Crafts, her birthday wild card challenge, she was like, switch it up. And I was like, done. Some of you might have seen this post on Instagram, but this is done. Are you ready for it? On 40 count Edinburgh, Night Sky by Bestitch Me. That's right. This is also done in Bestitch Me Silks. Of course it is. So it is bright, it is colorful, it is beautiful. And I have been done with my corner of this since 3 or 4 days after I started it in January. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see it finished. I do need to, I think I'm going to actually cut this down so that they only have like the fabric size that they need for it. But this is being housed in a bag that I got from StitchCon. And it was, I kind of asked Crafty Kara to bring me a bag, and she did. So this is from Crafty Kara, and there's pineapples in there. I thought that was super cute. But that's the backside fabric, and then you can see the pineapples are on the inside over here, the pineapples. So I thought that was a really cute bag, nice and bright and summery. There's the pineapple bag. Super cute, no little notions pouch. So I finished my section. So do I call it a section? Do I call it a finish? I don't know. I haven't decided. It's open as a WIP in my WIPs because when I go to Steel City Stitchers Retreat at the end of March 24th, I give mine to Trina. And I'm super excited. I get to meet Trina and stitch with Trina and give her my ink circles. And I'll pick up Jasmine's ink circles on my way to the Steel City Stitchers Retreat. And that's it. Oh my goodness, how long have I been talking? Way too long. I didn't think I would talk that much. An hour and 6 minutes. Sorry, y'all. Well, anyway, if you have any questions about life updates or anything like that, or if I forgot to mention anything that I included in there, please let me know and I will do my best to answer those questions in my next one. But for now, I think I will sign off. A la Jessie at Mislaid Pages, I hope you have the best day that's available to you. If you are having a rough time, please reach out to somebody and try to, get some stitching in. Oh, I have one more WIP. This is kind of a weird WIP. It doesn't really go with cross stitch. Most of the stuff I do is cross stitch. However, I caved. That's right, I caved. Everybody kept talking about knitting, and I said, okay, fine. So December 26th of last year, I started, because that's just the way I do. You're kind of like, hey, why not start knitting? First thing that you've really knit, like in a long time or like ever. Let's just go with the Aurora Cabin Shawl from Stephen West. And my picture is kind of down at the bottom. I'm not going to be able to get it out right now. But this is where I'm at. I went to my local yarn store. I actually have a local yarn store that is like 5 minutes from me. Super exciting. And she kind of helped me pick out some of these fabrics or colors or yarns. It's been a long day, y'all. And these are the yarns that I picked and that she helped me pick. This section up here, I screwed up with the cabling. This, I have fixed the cabling and it is working out so much easier and so much better. But I absolutely love it. It's the Aurora Cabin Shawl by Stephen West. And you're kind of like, you know what? I'm just gonna go big. Why bother trying to take things slow and easy? Just jump right in. Sure enough, I jumped right in. And that's where I'm at. I don't know how to show knitting very well on this. I don't show a lot of knitting progress on here. All right, maybe that's where. There. Maybe. I don't know. There you go. My first ever knitting project. Yeah, I don't even know. So the yarns, here's one of the colors. She caked them up and everything for me. Is done by a company called stitch together. And I think it's out here in the Midwest somewhere. Here, let me see if I can pull this out here. Stitch Together Studios. It was started in, it's hand dyed somewhere in Iowa, and established in 2015. So Stitch Together is where I got that from. But my local yarn store, this color is Beats Me, Beets. Isn't that funny? My local yarn store is called the Fiber Universe, and it's downtown from where I live, and it's super close to where I live, which is amazing. They have knit nights on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from like 6 to and change, but that conflicts with Jasmine's streaming and Jasmine's knit night when I get to talk to all my peeps. So I haven't been in person to one of their knit nights, which kind of is sad to me, but I found a few yarns that I used for crochet. So I'm like losing it right now. Found some yarns for some crochet projects that I did. I finished those. I really don't have like a crochet project going on right now. But I am not, like, one knitting project is good enough for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm good with the one. So you're not gonna see a lot more than just the one project going on in my life right now. So okay, that is everything. That is everything now. So again, I hope you have the best day available to you, or the rest evening available to you, or whatever time zone you happen to be in. Again, reach out if you're struggling, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then.